Joining us now via Skype from Washington, D.C. is Imam Talib Sharif from the Masjid Muhammad Mosque, also known as the nation's mosque. Imam Talib, great to have you on the broadcast. It's a privilege. Let me ask you right off the bat, you know, the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security have just released this very urgent warning for our former as well as current members of the military, saying that there is a potential of an ISIS threat against them here in the homeland. As a veteran, a former veteran of our U.S. military, what's your sense, what's your reaction to this threat?
Oh, well, I certainly support any kind of warnings to alert us to threats that affect our life as a public, as a nation, here in America and also abroad. Very important that we get those kind of alerts, and that so we can be aware. Again, we see ISIS, the whole group, as criminals. We see them as criminals first. They're not seen as Muslims, about the majority of Muslims, by the universal Muslim world. Again, the Quran calls them criminals. There's a verse that refers to those types of people as criminals, and I think we should begin to label them as such.
You were recently part of a group that organized a national prayer, a Muslim prayer event at the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C. What was the significance of hosting that event for you?
The significance of hosting that event because it's a national cathedral. We bury our national heroes there. It's a place that prides itself on welcoming others of faith to come there and hold significant events, memorials, etc. And for us to be able to have an event there that's close to us in religion, and respecting the place. And we have a precedent in our history, in Islamic history, where the Prophet, peace be upon him, there was a delegation of Christians that came to visit. He offered them the mosque to make their prayers. So we have precedents for that. We have precedents for people of faith coming together, working together for that is bigger, that is greater, that is more important, and that's our unity.
You know, many people think this gesture would not be reciprocated by the Muslim community. I mean, for example, you go to Jeddah or to Riyadh, the idea of perhaps a Christian pastor holding a prayer service, a Christian prayer service in Mecca or Medina or any other significant mosque in any whether in Indonesia or in Saudi Arabia. Do you see that happening? Would you encourage something like that happening, where a Christian-led prayer could happen at a mosque, even at your own mosque, the nation's mosque?
I know it can happen at my mosque. Certainly it can happen at my mosque. I can envision it happening. Now, we're talking about America. We're trying to be a beacon of light for the world and showing America's beauty, its diversity, its freedom of religion, and it's respecting that and appreciating the differences, which is given to its strength. So this is a model. Around the world, we're not seeing that. One of the reasons why it was important that we do it in America. And another thing that was significant is that we were not just one Muslim group from one Muslim land. We were several different Muslim groups from different Muslim lands. But we came together, united, upon something that's in our history, something that's welcome, something that's supported, something that's promoted and welcome. But we don't find that same thing happening in other Muslim lands, which is one of the statements that we wanted to make. We're finding that there are some Muslims in their countries, the minority Christians that are minorities, that will not take place. And our statement is to say that is the wrong position to take. Now, unless you're talking about sacred spaces, such as Mecca, outside of that, every country, everywhere there's a mosque, really it should be an opportunity to allow a Christian or a Jew or any other to have a worship service there.
Imam Talib Sharif, thank you so much for your insights. It's a pleasure to have you on the broadcast. Imam Talib Sharif of the Masjid Muhammad Mosque, also known as a nation's mosque in Washington, D.C. So, pleasure to have you on the broadcast. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.